way. Two lines of them because there's so many riders out there. This is 250cc and 500cc, and it's very tactical to see who goes on the front runs. A bit of, very physical stuff happening there, and it was Kristinov who lost it, and he didn't upset any of the other riders, thank heavens. And the whole shot looks as if the Swedish rider Jörgen Nilsson has gone through on the big 500 Honda, and you would expect the big 500 machines to make a showing in the early stages, but out in front is Jörgen Nilsson and local Austrian rider Siegfried Bauer on the Kawasaki's second. Marnik Barefoots is in third position at the moment, and I have to say at this stage, to see Marnik looking so competitive is extraordinary, because very sad news, his father died on Friday, but he's out there showing what a true sportsman he is, moving up into second place for Belgium. Now we have to try and keep you in touch with what's happening as far as the 500 and the 125cc positions are concerned as we're running, but let's look at the front runners at the moment. We can expect the 500s to be out there in front, but the Bartolini 125 Honda's going well, and of course Jeff Emig from the States on his 125 Yamaha is right in there, and they're running down in sort of 10th, 11th, 12th position at the moment. But look how well Nilsson is going. Marnik Barefoot second, and we've still got the Austrian rider in third place. Edwin Evanson is making a strong pull up through the field. This course is a lovely course. It's been raining overnight, and you can see up in the higher reaches, well, Kwiatkowski, look, starting to make a bit of a pull through after a dodgy start, and these numbers of course are rather strange for us all, aren't they? But Mike Kwiatkowski has got number 1 on board. Number 13 is Jörgen Nilsson, and everyone expecting Kwiatkowski, once he got the feel of this circuit, to do exactly what he's doing there and power his way through. I have to say, he wasn't very happy in free training. He ended up with 22nd fastest time, but he's certainly on form now. And as I say, the conditions have changed quite a lot. They're a bit wet at the top, but they're starting to dry out. And as the day progresses, I think it's looking very good for the weekend. Now, there you go. Those are some of your 125cc placings. And Bartolini has moved ahead of Jeff Emig, and Emig is not happy about that. There goes Emig through now. And 22 was Søren Mortensen, and that is Werner de Witt, who's on the Suzuki, not looking all that happy. Now then, here's the action. Kwiatkowski in second place, starting to challenge Jörgen Nilsson, and is he going to go through? Because every score is important here. The way they score it, of course, is they add all the points together for the 3 heats, so there's 6 sets of points, and they drop the lowest score at the end of the day. So there's a lot of tactics involved here. That's how close they are. Just coming up to some of the back markers, and that's going to be very crucial in this situation. Is he going through Kwiatkowski? No, the door is closed by Nilsson, and there'll be a lot of back markers and slower traffic because it's 125cc and 500cc, so the field is very, very spread out on this beautiful natural course here. Oh, and he goes through. Good clean pass by Kwiatkowski. Can he hold on to it? Nilsson now in second, Barefoot still third, and Edwin Evertson starting to move up through now. Look at this again. Chooses his rut, opens up on the gas, accelerates away. The Kawasaki just pulling in front of the 500 Honda. Bartolini still holding off Emig, and that's the back marker you saw there. There is Emig. That's the sort of lead he's got. So we've got an American 1 and an American 2, and those are the important points at the moment. We've got a Swede with a first position and an Italian with a first position, and that's the way we have to work it out between the 125cc and the 500cc classes. The win goes to Kwiatkowski, ahead of Nilsson, ahead of Barefoots. Evertson managed to clinch 4th place. A great ride by the Austrian Siegfried Bauer on his Kawasaki. Looking down on the 125cc's, Bartolini from Emig. Then there was quite a big gap until Joachim Carlsen came across the line in 3rd. So the Americans with maximum points on that one, or minimum points, because they don't actually give them points, they take the by for the 125 and 250cc. So the 125 boys are going to be a bit tired because it's only an hour since their last heat, and away they go, 2 rows. The tactics, a lot of people deciding to choose who's going to go where and who's going to do what. And Who gets the whole shot? Alessandro Puzar on the Yamaha. A bit of a pile-up on that hill. It's very, very steep, that little section there, which is normally quite good for the start because it slows everyone down. Puzar out in the lead. And right behind him there, wearing number 5, is Stefan Everts on the 250cc Suzuki, chasing the Yamaha. Kurt Nickel is out there. Kurt, who went so well in practice, put in some really fast times. He loves this Motocross the Nations, and I don't know where he is at the moment. I can't see him, but he's certain to be out there. Now then, McGrath, he's had a brilliant season. So here they come. Everts is just looking for the right place to make his move, and through goes Kurt Nickel there, and 44 is Dieter Lacher. Greg Albertine down in 7th place, and Fred Bolly having a go, number 11. They're really quite grouped up here, as one would expect. Not such a big difference between the 125 and 250 boys. And as this course dries out, they are really starting to fly, these guys. They're averaging in excess of 45, 46 kilometers an hour, and Albertine is absolutely flying. He's already put in a lap of 48.573 kilometers an hour. And Everts goes through. It had to be, I think. He was looking so strong. Now this is where it gets really complicated, because with Stefan out in front, Alex Puzar obviously was looking to at least get another high mark. I wonder if he can hang on to that 2nd place. And if we look down the running order, Jeff Emig is now the highest place 125cc man. There goes Stefan, a beautiful clean pass. Takes that bump and rides it in the air. Beautiful. Emig just having a nice little set to. And they are really flying up the front end. Stefan looking supreme here. The Belgians have got a very good chance. He's starting to make big impression now. Here he goes, look, Kurt Nickel having a go at Jeremy McGrath and absolutely screaming past him. Into 3rd position goes the British champion. He's had such a fabulous season. He's on a real high. He certainly has got to be one of the big favourites. Look at them playing back and forth, cat and mouse here. But Kurt Nickel has certainly got the measure of Jeremy McGrath. But no one can measure up to Stefan Everts on his 250 machine today, as he takes the checkered flag for Heat 2 of the Motocross of the Nations. From the start, and I'll try and get you some more news about that later on as we prepare for the 3rd and final heat of the biggest motocross event in the world, the Motocross of the Nations. Who gets the whole shot? Well, it's Kurt Nickel absolutely screaming away. He chose the right line, kept well clear of the trouble. There's that nasty little dip before the hill, and McGrath is down. Wow, now that's really going to affect the American standings. Now let's see what Kurt can do. Fred Bolly is chasing him really hard. Kurt's pulling away up the hill. And if there as well. But if we can keep the Americans out of the top 5, it could be a lot of different things when we come to the end of this event. Now watch this man, the British champion Kurt Nickel, riding so beautifully with the best in the world riding behind him. Kudrowski is another American who's just lost a few places there. Not that we've got anything against the Americans, but my word, they've dominated this event over the last 13 years. And all of the teams would like to see a change on that leaderboard. Well, it's hot stuff in the 500cc class at the moment, and they're only 2 or 3 places behind the 250cc boys. This is some of the closest racing we've seen in the Motocross of the Nations. So there's Barefoots and Nielsen. Where's Greg Albertine? Well, he's a little bit further down as Fred Bolly goes through. They're having a really good tussle. Bolly and Nickel. Nickel actually got... The weather has improved tremendously. And that circuit is quite benevolent in a funny sort of way. Some nice lines developing, and the rider's able to take the lines that suit them. They're not being thrown around too much. And Greg Albertine stalled. He's going again. I wonder if he's... He looks as if he's cruising back to the pits, to be honest with you. Now then, it really is all down to Kudrowski, I think, at this stage, because I'm trying to do my mathematics here. But Kudrowski has got to get up and get a decent place in the 500cc's as Nickel goes into the lead in the 250. He retakes Bolly. And Kurt Nickel just storming ahead now. So let's have a look at the final situation. A great ride by Nickel. The Italians blew it completely. They never even made it to the pre-park. They say they were having a discussion about tactics, who they were going to put on the front row and who they weren't. We reckon that they got the starting time wrong. It was supposed to be 10-2 and they thought it was at the top of the hour.